Deep within the Hyperion, Dr. Maya Patel worked with a team of scientists in the project's central control room. Holographic displays showed the intricate dance of construction drones as they assembled the massive structure piece by piece. "The energy conversion systems are exceeding our expectations," Maya reported to Admiral Santos via quantum link. The archive's specifications were precise. Once completed, Project Helios will be able to harness the star's energy with 99.9% efficiency. But not everyone was convinced of the project's peaceful intentions. In a secret meeting on the Valdorian homeworld, Cothrix addressed a coalition of concerned species. The humans claimed they're building an energy collection facility. The Valdorian representative chittered. "But our analysis suggests the structure could be weaponized. They must be stopped before it's too late." The Arxer representative, participating via secure hologram, disagreed. "Your analysis is flawed. Our observers report no weapon systems. The humans have been transparent about their progress." "Transparent?" Cothrix scoffed. "They share what they want us to see. Meanwhile, they implement more of the Archive's technology daily. Their military capabilities have doubled in the past month alone." Back at Tau Ceti, Helena received an urgent communication from Earth Command. "Admiral, we've intercepted communications indicating a possible strike force assembling in the Proxima sector. Valdorian ships, with support from 3 other species." Helena studied the tactical display. The construction site was well defended, with the latest Archive-derived shield technology protecting both the structure and the construction teams. But a determined attack could still cause significant damage and delays. "Increase patrol frequency," she ordered, "and activate the quantum sensor grid. I want to know the moment any unauthorized ship enters the system." In the Geneva facility, Marcus We met with the Council observers, attempting to maintain diplomatic channels. "The project's purpose is exactly as we've stated, a revolutionary power generation system that could benefit all species." The Arxer observer, a towering figure named Zextal, stepped forward. "Some council members believe you're constructing a weapon of unprecedented scale. These fears are driving them toward desperate action." "Then they're letting fear cloud their judgment," Marcus replied. "We've provided full specifications, welcomed observers, and shared preliminary research data. What more can we do to prove our intentions?" "Perhaps," Zextal suggested carefully, "you could reveal the full scope of the project. There are rumors that what we're seeing in Tau Ceti is only part of a larger initiative." Marcus hesitated. The Arxer was more perceptive than they'd anticipated. Project Helios was indeed part of something greater, something humanity had discovered deep within the Archive's most encrypted sections. At that moment, alarms blared through the Tau Ceti system. Helena's voice cut through all command channels. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected. Galdorian battle fleet emerging at system's edge. The moment they'd been preparing for had arrived. The Valdorian fleet, comprising over 50 capital ships and their escorts, dropped out of hyperspace in attack formation. Cothrix's voice boomed across all frequencies. "This is your only warning. Cease construction immediately and surrender control of the Archive's technologies, or we will be forced to take military action." Helena's response was calm but firm. "This is a peaceful construction project in sovereign human space. Any aggressive action will be met with appropriate force." As both fleets faced each other across the void, the future of galactic peace hung in the balance. The construction drones continued their work, adding piece after piece to the massive structure that had become the focal point of interstellar tension. In Geneva, Marcus We made a decision. "Tell them," he instructed the communications officer. "Tell them what we found in the Archive's deepest encryptions. Tell them why we're really building Project Helios." The message that followed would change everything, but whether it would prevent conflict or escalate it remained to be seen. The Archive's true purpose was about to be revealed, and with it, the reason humanity had been racing against time itself. The quantum transmission cut through the tense silence of space. Dr. Maya Patel's voice, steady and clear, addressed not just the Valdorian fleet, but the entire galactic community. The archive wasn't left as a weapon or a tool for domination. It was a warning and a solution. In approximately 300 years, our galaxy will encounter a massive void of dark energy, large enough to destabilize thousands of star systems. The archive's creators encountered it millennia ago. They couldn't stop it, but they left us the means to survive it. "There's something else, Captain," Dr. Chen said, his voice thick with emotion. "According to these records, this facility wasn't abandoned. It was left here deliberately. It was meant to be found by species reaching a certain level of technological development. It's a gift." Elena felt the weight of the moment settle on her shoulders. This discovery would send shockwaves through the galactic community. Humanity, the youngest spacefaring civilization in known space, had just stumbled upon perhaps the greatest technological treasure trove in galactic history. "Begin data transfer," she ordered. "Priority 1 encryption. And send a message to Earth Command. Tell them." She paused, choosing her words carefully. "Tell them we found something that changes everything." As the Magellan's quantum computers began the massive task of downloading and processing the archive's contents, Elena knew that humanity's position in the galaxy was about to shift dramatically. The archive wasn't just a collection of advanced technology. It was a key to humanity's future among the stars. But as the initial euphoria of discovery began to fade, Elena couldn't help but wonder about the implications of their find. Why had such advanced knowledge been left here? And more importantly, how would the other spacefaring civilizations react when they learned that humanity now had access to technology that could potentially surpass their own? The answers to these questions would soon reshape the balance of power in the galaxy, and humanity would find itself at the center of a storm that had been brewing for millennia. The real challenge wasn't finding the archive. It was what came next. As the data transfer continued, Elena made her way back to her quarters, her mind racing with possibilities and concerns. She had a feeling that sleep would be elusive tonight, but that hardly mattered. History was being made, and humanity was about to embark on its greatest adventure yet. The archive had awakened, and with it, humanity's destiny among the stars would never be the same. The news of humanity's discovery spread through the galaxy like a supernova shockwave. Within days, the Galactic Council chambers on Centauri Prime were filled to capacity, representatives from every major civilization demanding answers about the ancient archive. Ambassador Marcus Way stood before the assembled council, his calm demeanor masking the tension he felt. Above him, the vast dome of the chamber reflected the light of 3 suns, casting ever-shifting shadows across the faces of hundreds of alien representatives. The human delegation has been forthcoming about the nature of their discovery. First Speaker Zerlax announced their crystalline form refracting light in patterns that indicated agitation. However, several members of the council have expressed concerns. The Valdorian representative, a towering insectoid being named Cathrix, stepped forward. Concerns. That's putting it mildly. Humanity has been spacefaring for barely a century. The archive's knowledge should be placed under council jurisdiction immediately. Marcus maintained his diplomatic smile, though his fingers tightened imperceptibly on the podium. The archive was discovered in unclaimed space by a human vessel. Under galactic law, Article 7, Section 12, such discoveries fall under the jurisdiction of the discovering species. Laws can be amended. Cathrix chittered, mandibles clicking in irritation, especially when the stability of the galaxy is at stake. Back on Earth, in the heavily secured quantum communications center beneath Geneva, Captain Elena Rodriguez watched the council proceedings with growing concern. The mood in the room was tense as various project leaders and military officials analyzed the diplomatic situation. "They're afraid," Dr. Chen observed, now serving as the head of the Archive Integration Project. "We've had teams working around the clock decoding the archive's contents. The technology we're uncovering, it's beyond anything the council races possess." General Sarah Mitchell, the newly appointed head of Earth Defense, nodded grimly. Our long-range sensors have detected increased military activity in several Council systems. They're positioning their fleets while maintaining diplomatic pretenses. Elena studied the tactical displays showing fleet movements across the galaxy. The patterns were clear. Humanity was being quietly surrounded. Have we made progress with the defensive systems outlined in the archive? Some, Dr. Chen replied, pulling up a holographic display of their latest prototype. But implementation is challenging. The archive contains theoretical knowledge, but we have to develop the practical applications ourselves. It's like being given the principles of nuclear physics and having to invent the nuclear reactor from scratch. In the Council chambers, the debate had turned heated. The Arxer Collective, longtime rivals of the Valdorians, had surprisingly spoken in humanity's defense. The humans have shown remarkable restraint, the Arxer representative observed. They could have kept the discovery secret, yet they chose to inform the Council immediately. This speaks to their character. Cthrix's antennae twitched violently, or to their cunning. Who knows what information they've already extracted and hidden away? The archive's power could destabilize millennia of carefully maintained galactic order. Marcus Way had heard enough. He stepped forward, his voice cutting through the growing chaos. Distinguished representatives, let me be clear. Humanity has no intention of monopolizing the archive's knowledge. We propose a joint research initiative with representatives from all Council races working alongside human scientists. A murmur ran through the chamber. This was unexpected. The first speaker leaned forward, their crystalline structure pulsing with interest. You would share the archive's secrets. With proper safeguards and mutual oversight, yes, Marcus confirmed. The archive wasn't meant for one species alone. Its knowledge could benefit all of galactic civilization. Back on Earth, Elena watched the Council's reaction carefully. It's a calculated risk, she murmured. Giving them limited access while we work on the most critical systems. General Mitchell nodded. The archive's defensive technologies are our priority. If diplomacy fails, we need to be ready. The Council chambers erupted in debate. Some representatives saw the offer as a sign of human weakness, others as a diplomatic masterstroke. The Valdorians and their allies huddled in urgent discussion, while the more moderate Council members began expressing support for the human proposal. First Speaker Zulax raised their appendages for silence. The Council will need time to consider this proposal. Until then, we request that all research on the archive's contents be suspended. Marcus Way's expression remained neutral, but his response carried a subtle edge. With respect, First Speaker, we cannot agree to that request. The archive's knowledge is too valuable to remain dormant. However, we welcome Council observers to monitor our research efforts. As the session adjourned, the political battle lines were clearly drawn. Half the Council saw humanity's offer as a reasonable compromise, while others viewed it as a clever ploy to maintain control of the archive while appearing cooperative. In orbit above Earth, the combined fleet of the Earth Defense Force maintained its vigilant watch. The archive had transformed humanity's position in the galaxy overnight, but it had also painted a target on their back. The coming days would determine whether this discovery would lead to unprecedented cooperation or trigger a conflict that would reshape the galaxy. Elena Rodriguez stared at the tactical displays, watching the growing number of alien vessels taking up positions near human space. We're walking a tightrope, she observed. One wrong move. Dr. Chen looked up from his latest analysis of the archive's contents. Captain, there's something else you need to see. We found references to why the archive's creators left this knowledge behind. It wasn't just about sharing technology. They were preparing for something. The implications of his words hung heavy in the air. As humanity raced to understand and implement the archive's knowledge, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were running out of time. The galaxy was changing, alliances were shifting, and at the center of it all lay the question that no one had yet dared to ask. What were the archive's creators preparing for, and was humanity ready to face it? The TOF-CD system blazed with activity as construction drones formed like metallic insects around the growing framework of humanity's most ambitious project. Project Helios had begun, and with it, humanity's greatest gamble. Admiral Helena Santos watched from the bridge of the EDF Hyperion as another massive section of the framework clicked into place. The quantum-engineered materials, developed from the archive's knowledge, gleamed with an otherworldly sheen. "Status report," she commanded, eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the project's progress. "Construction is at 37% completion," her AI assistant responded. "We've successfully integrated the quantum stability matrices. However, we've detected 3 more attempted intrusions by stealth vessels in the outer system." Helena's jaw tightened. Despite the Council observers present on Earth, several species had been attempting to gather intelligence on Project Helios through less official means. The Archive's defensive technologies had proven invaluable in detecting and deterring these incursions. Deep in the uncharted regions of the Orion Arm, the research vessel Magellan drifted silently through the debris field of a long-dead civilization. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood at the bridge's observation deck, her dark eyes fixed on the ancient structures floating in the void. After 15 years of deep space exploration, this was the first time her crew had encountered remnants of an advanced alien civilization, predating humanity's emergence into the stars. "Dr. Chen, what are we looking at exactly?" Elena asked, her voice carrying a mix of wonder and professional detachment. The ship's lead xenorchaeologist, Dr. James Chen, manipulated the holographic display with practiced precision. "These structures appear to be part of a vast information storage facility, Captain. Based on our initial scans, they're at least 50,000 years old. The preservation is remarkable." The Magellan had stumbled upon this discovery during a routine survey mission. What initially appeared to be another asteroid field turned out to be something far more significant: the remains of what might be the most extensive data repository ever discovered in known space. "The energy signatures are unlike anything we've seen before," Lieutenant Sarah O'Connor, the ship's chief engineer, chimed in from her station. "The structures seem to be maintaining some form of power, albeit minimal. It's as if they're in a dormant state, waiting to be awakened." Elena felt a familiar tingle of anticipation run down her spine. In the century since humanity had joined the galactic community, they had often been viewed as the newcomers, the less advanced species still finding their footing among the stars. This discovery could change everything. "Launch the exploration pods," Elena commanded. "Dr. Chen, you'll lead the first team. Lieutenant O'Connor, ensure our systems are compatible with whatever we might find in there. I want us ready for any possibility." As the exploration teams prepared for their mission, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the precipice of something monumental. The Galactic Council had always been careful about sharing advanced technology with humanity, citing concerns about their rapid development and unpredictable nature. This discovery might finally give humanity the chance to prove their worth. The exploration pods departed from the Magellan's launch bay, their lights illuminating the ancient structures. Dr. Chen's voice crackled over the comm system as his team approached the largest intact section of the facility. "Captain, we're detecting an entry point. The architecture is remarkable. It appears to be designed for universal accessibility, regardless of species type or technological level." "Proceed with caution, Doctor," Elena responded, watching the feed from the pod's cameras. "Remember our first contact protocols." The team carefully navigated through the entry point, their suits' lights revealing corridors lined with what appeared to be data storage units. The architecture was elegant yet functional, with sweeping curves and geometric patterns that seemed to serve both aesthetic and practical purposes. "This is incredible," Dr. Chen breathed. "The facility seems to be responding to our presence. Look at the walls. They're becoming luminescent." Indeed, as the team moved deeper into the structure, soft blue light began emanating from the walls, creating pathways that seemed to guide them forward. It was as if the facility recognized their presence and was awakening from its millennial slumber. Lieutenant O'Connor's voice cut through the wonder. "Captain, I'm detecting a surge in power signatures. The facility's systems are reactivating, but in a controlled manner. It's interfacing with our technology." Before Elena could respond, holographic displays began materializing throughout the corridor, filling the space with streams of data and complex diagrams. The universal translation software in their suits struggled to keep up with the flood of information. "Dr. Chen, what are we seeing?" Elena demanded, her heart racing. "Captain, these appear to be technical blueprints. Billions of them. Scientific theories, technological applications, engineering schematics. This isn't just a data repository, it's an archive of advanced technological knowledge." As the team continued their exploration, they discovered that the facility was divided into sections, each containing different categories of information. From energy generation to matter manipulation, from faster-than-light travel to planetary engineering, the archive seemed to contain the accumulated knowledge of a civilization far more advanced than any known to the current galactic community. The revelation hit the gathered fleets like a physical force. On the Valdorian flagship, Kethrix's mandibles clicked rapidly as the implications became clear. The humans hadn't been building a weapon. They'd been racing to construct a survival system. Helena's voice joined Maya's. "Project Helios isn't a single structure. It's the first node in a galaxy-wide network designed to stabilize our region of space against the void's effects. The archive contains plans for hundreds of these installations, working in concert to maintain the fabric of space-time itself." Across encrypted channels, the Valdorian command structure erupted in debate. Their sensors confirmed the humans' claims. The structure's energy patterns matched perfectly with space-time stabilization theories their own scientists had been working on for decades. In Geneva, Marcus Way addressed the Council observers directly. "We kept this quiet not out of malice, but necessity. We needed to confirm our findings and begin construction before panic could spread. The void is real, and it's coming. But together, we can face this threat." The Arxer representative, Zextel, stepped forward. "Our astronomers, they detected anomalies at the galaxy's edge decades ago. We could never explain them. This is why you've been pushing so hard for cooperation." "Yes," Marcus confirmed. "Project Helios is just the beginning. We need more than humanity's resources to complete the network in time. We need the entire galactic community." Back in the Tav Ceti system, Kethrix's fleet held position, weapons still armed but no longer targeting the human installations. After what seemed like an eternity, the Valdorian leader spoke. "We may have acted hastily. Our scientists are confirming your data now. If what you say is true, then this changes everything." Helena's response was diplomatic but firm. "We welcome your verification. But understand this. Project Helios will continue. The void doesn't care about our political disputes. Either we stand together, or we fall separately." The next few hours saw a flurry of diplomatic and scientific exchanges. The archive's data about the void was shared openly, along with humanity's plans for the defense network. As the evidence mounted, even the most skeptical council races had to acknowledge the truth. In a historic moment, Thrix's flagship moved alongside the Hyperion, not as an adversary, but as an ally. "Your species saw what we all missed," the Valdorian leader admitted. "You didn't just find the archive. You understood its true purpose when we were all too focused on power and politics." Maya's team worked through the night, sharing technical specifications with newly arrived scientific delegations from across the galaxy. The archive's knowledge, combined with the collective technological expertise of multiple species, began to yield even better results than humanity had achieved alone. The construction process can be accelerated by 40% with Valdorian quantum fabrication techniques, Maya reported, and the Arxer power distribution systems could improve efficiency by another 15%. But amid the growing cooperation, Helena noticed something in the archive's data that hadn't been obvious before. As other species added their expertise, new patterns emerged in the ancient information. Dr. Patel, she called over the quantum link. Are you seeing this? The void. According to these calculations, it's not a natural phenomenon. Maida's response was grim. No, Admiral. The more we decode, the clearer it becomes. The void was created by something, or someone. The archive's builders weren't just preparing us for a natural disaster. They were preparing us for what comes after it. The revelation added new urgency to their mission. Project Helios wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about preparing for a threat that had already destroyed one ancient civilization. As the combined fleets of multiple species began coordinating construction efforts, humanity found itself at the center of the greatest cooperative effort in galactic history. The Archive had brought them together, not through force or fear, but through the most powerful motivator of all, survival. As construction resumed at an unprecedented pace, the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if acknowledging the first time in millions of years that the galaxy's species had truly united for a common cause. 5 years after the Tau Ceti revelation, the galaxy had transformed. 300 Helios nodes pulsed with energy across known space, their quantum matrices weaving an invisible shield against the approaching void. In the Galactic Council's new unified command center on Earth, Admiral Helena Santos studied the latest deep space readings. The void's forward edge hasn't changed course, she reported to the assembled leaders. But we've confirmed it's artificial. The Archive's final encryptions revealed the truth. It's a weapon created by beings from outside our galaxy. Dr. Maya Patel manipulated the holographic display, showing the latest simulation. The Archive's creators called them the Heralds. They used the void to test species, to see if they're worthy of survival. Those who can't unite and overcome it are deemed unfit for galactic civilization. Thrix, now serving as the Council's defense coordinator, moved forward on his chitinous legs. Our combined fleets are ready. The Helios network isn't just a shield. It's a weapon system of unprecedented power. The Archive's deepest secrets had proven more startling than anyone imagined. The Heralds had seeded thousands of galaxies with similar archives, watching from afar as civilizations either united or perished. The void was their instrument of judgment, and humanity's discovery of the archive had started the test ahead of schedule. Launch the quantum probes, Helena commanded. It's time to show the Heralds that this galaxy chooses its own destiny. As the probes pierced the void's outer layer, the Helios network hummed to life. Energy coursed through the lattice of nodes, each one amplifying the other's power. The void began to warp and twist, its artificial nature becoming evident as the combined technology of a united galaxy challenged its existence. From her station aboard the Hyperion, Elena Rodriguez watched the sensors with pride. The frightened captain who had first discovered the archive was now humanity's representative to the combined fleet. All nodes reporting optimal power flow. The network is stable. The void's front began to collapse, its dark energy signature dissipating under the Helios network's assault. And then, as the sensors had predicted, they appeared. Massive ships of impossible geometry emerged from the void's remnants. The Heralds had come to witness their test's outcome. But they found something unprecedented. A galaxy united not in fear, but in determination. The combined fleet held formation, Helios nodes pulsing with power, ready to defend their home. The Herald's message echoed across all frequencies in perfect universal standard. You have surpassed expectations. Not only did you decode our archive and construct the defense network, but you did so through cooperation rather than conquest. You are the first to face us united. Helena's response was immediate. We don't seek your approval. This galaxy and its future belong to all of us together. Your test is no longer relevant. A moment of silence followed, and then something remarkable happened. The Herald ships began to power down, their impossible geometries shifting into more comprehensible forms. Then you have truly learned what we hoped to teach. Unity in the face of extinction. Cooperation over competition. The archive was never about technology. It was about bringing species together before they destroy themselves. As the diplomatic channels opened between the heralds and the unified galaxy, humanity found itself in an unexpected position. They hadn't just saved their galaxy. They'd changed the rules of a game that had been played across countless galaxies for millions of years. The archive remained in Earth's custody, but its knowledge now flowed freely through the galaxy. The Helios network became a symbol of unity, its nodes standing watch against any threat, internal or external. Elena stood on the Hyperion's observation deck, watching ships from a dozen species working together to construct a new node. The path from that first discovery to this moment had been challenging, but it had led to something greater than anyone could have imagined. Captain Rodriguez, her AI assistant, interrupted. "The Council is requesting your presence. The Heralds have offered to share knowledge of other galaxies that passed their test. They believe we're ready." Elena smiled. The archive had been just the beginning. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy not through dominance, but by bringing others together. As she headed to the council chamber, she knew that their greatest adventures still lay ahead. The stars seemed brighter now, their light unfiltered by fear or division. In finding the archive, humanity hadn't just discovered advanced technology. They'd discovered the true key to galactic civilization, the strength to face the unknown united, ready to write their own story among the stars.